Grace and peace on Monday, the 6th of July. For our devotional topic this week, we have the virtue of solitude. This time of pandemic has taught me truly the virtue of solitude. I think if this were a different time in my life, if we were doing homeschooling with Liam, or if I had a larger family, this might be a little bit different. But it wasn't. So I learned a lot about solitude. I do know that growing up, I learned about playing just in times of solitude by myself. Imagination would kick in. I would create worlds if I was playing with my dollhouse or coloring off by myself. I were playing in the sandbox or in the swing sets. I loved that. I loved playing with my friends. I mean, it was all really wonderful. But I carried that into my adulthood, and I'm really thankful for that. I was surprised early in my ministry to learn that not everybody's comfortable with their own company, and folks will go to great lengths to avoid being alone. And I think that maybe that's part of, at least theologically, a difference between aloneness, or solitude. Because I don't think we're ever really alone, right? There's something in solitude, choosing your own company or making some intentional choices while you are keeping your own company. I know that we have some really great examples of Jesus when he's keeping his own company, teaching us to make the most of those particular moments. We have at least 6 really great examples of times when he chose his own company rather than to keep company with others before making important decisions, such as before he called the 12 disciples, or before doing any major task or changing focus, just like when Jesus moved into his ministry after being baptized by John the Baptist. He spent those 40 days in the wilderness. And when, when Jesus sent his 12 disciples out, and they then came back, he encouraged them to take time alone, to take time away from the followers that they had gathered so that they could recharge their batteries after their hard work. Yes, he did that. He really did. And then when his cousin, John the Baptist, was beheaded, Jesus needed to take time alone, solitude with God, his Father. Yes, he needed to have that time of grief. So if we ever do wonder if God really grieves, that's one of those really powerful examples. And when he was finding himself in that really deep moment of trouble and distress, hours before he was arrested, he was at the Mount of Olives, and he took time to pray in solitude there. And there's an example, many examples, but Luke's Gospel, Luke 5, gives us one powerful one that just is that reminder that Jesus often took time alone to pray, which is a reminder for me that just on a regular basis, I need to take that time to focus, to breathe, to center. Because if I'm not comfortable in my own company, then I have to figure out why. Right? If there's something I don't want to face, something I don't want to see, something I think I'm not that willing to share in private with God, I have to realize that God already knows it. So what is it I'm trying not to face? Once I open up, once I embrace whatever the heck it is, then it's going to give me insight, and it's going to give me wisdom in return. And it's going to take me to a deeper part of myself. And once I move into that deeper part, it drags me out of my own shallowness. And who doesn't really want that? At least that's my experience. And when I leave that shallowness, I leave some of my immature nature. And I find a deeper language for myself and for my relationship with God, which is what I'm seeking. It reminds me of that time when I actually understood this card that was on my mom's dresser. It said, too often we are using people and loving things, and we really want to do the opposite. That's what I want. I want that perspective that moves me from the chaos of my world and back into right relationship with people, right relationship with God, right relationship with the earth, right relationship with my dogs, right relationship with the church, right relationship with the earth that I really do love and cherish, the church that I cherish. I want to care for these things with an abundant love and a generous love, like the love that God has for me, for all of us. And I can really only keep that perspective when I am seeking that through those times of solitude with God. So I hope that in some way you are finding a way to do that, to find and to feed that flame of the Spirit that God has given you, and in the ways that work for you. I hope that you are finding something that works and that God is inspiring you and that you are feeling blessed and nurtured. So on the 6th of July, may God bless and keep you. Amen.